Hey everyone. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started, and I've decided to switch the order of the videos a little bit. So yesterday we talked about RGAs, revenue generating activities, and then we were going to talk a bit about the self-conscious and conscious mind. However, I decided to switch just a bit and let's talk about perspective. And also we're going to touch a bit on perfection. Okay, so we're going to talk about these things, and then tomorrow's video will be about the conscious and self-conscious mind. So let's go ahead and dive in. So today we're going to be talking about perspective and how our perspective really does make a huge impact in our business. What we see, what we perceive is really what outcome we end up with. Okay. And then the other part of this video is about perfection. Perfection does not build a business. And we're going to talk a bit about that as well. We don't have to be perfect in order to grow a successful Young Living business. And honestly, if we strive to be perfect, we will never grow that successful business. So we're going to go ahead and start out with a little story. It's something that I heard recently that really had an impact on my life and my business. And it's something that if we think about, it really can make a difference for each of us. Okay. So you can see here we have a picture of stones. So I'm just going to get started with the story, let you know a bit about what happened, and I want you to take a few minutes to think about how this applies to you and your business, how this applies to people on your team, how this applies to possibly your upline, your downline, anyone on your team. Write these things down as you think about it. So there was a man, and he was out in a new area visiting this place, and he was walking around. Well, he came across this huge pile of stones and a guy with a wheelbarrow pushing these stones back and forth from one spot to the next. And this guy just seemed depressed, tired, overworked. His shoulders were down, his head was down, and all he was doing was just pushing the wheelbarrow back and forth from pile A with the stones, dropping them off in pile B, and going back and forth over and over and over again. And this man that was walking around stopped and asked him, "Hey, sir, I'm just wondering what's going on here. What are you doing?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm just working. I'm just hauling stones, pushing these from point A to point B." So then the guy moved on. Well, then the next day, the guy was out and he was looking around again and he was trying to just explore this area. And he came across this pile of stones again and it caught his attention. Well, there was another man, very similar to the man the first day, pushing these stones from point A to point B, back and forth, very tired, depressed, not excited to be doing what he was doing. And the man asked him, he goes, "So what are you doing?" And he told him pretty much the same answer as the day before from the different man that was doing this. He said, "I'm hauling stones. I just have to haul stones. It's what I do for work." Okay? Well, then the third day, this man was still out exploring. He was looking around. He was taking in the new sights, and he walked past this pile of stones. But today he noticed something a bit different. He noticed that there was a man there working, and he was doing the same thing as the other guys. He was hauling stones from point A to point B. But he was happy. He was standing up tall. He was confident in what he was doing. He was singing, humming, whistling, just having a good time. And this man stopped him and he goes, "Wow, you seem quite different than the other people I talked to. What are you doing? I've been trying to get an answer for a few days. What is it that you guys are doing?" And he goes, "Sir, we're building a castle and it's going to be amazing. It's going to change the city. It's going to change the town. And it's really going to make a difference here. And I get to be a part of that." And so for me, when I heard this story, I was thinking, wow, each one of us are doing this in our Young Living business. We have the opportunity to build this castle. We have this opportunity to be a part of something that is much bigger than each one of us. So we have two ways that we can look at it. We can be the guy just pushing stones back and forth, not excited, not happy, not motivated to be doing what we're doing, and never enjoying the journey, because we know the journey's hard. We know that it's not always easy to get to where we want to get to, but we still have to go through that process to get there. Or we can be like the last guy on day 3, where he knew what they were doing, he knew what the goal was, and he was excited about the impact the final goal would have on himself and the community. This is exactly what we need to do in Young Living. We need to focus on what our end goal is. That may be getting to executive for some people. That may be Royal Crown Diamonds for others. Focus on that end goal. Work as if that's what you're doing. Every day, be excited. Look forward to working and focus on the end goal and the impact that it's going to have on your life and also the lives of so many people. Okay? Perspective is everything. What we perceive, what we see, what we envision is going to be what we have. So focus, work hard, be optimistic, and perceive the best. It's going to make a huge difference in your business, and also it's going to attract other people. As you are someone optimistic, and you are someone that can make even the worst of times, the hardest of times, the journey to get to the top look positive, you're going to attract people to do it with you. And that's what it's about in this business. You need to be able to attract people, motivate them, keep them excited, and get them to the top. Okay, like I said, perspective is everything. Write that down, tell yourself that every day, remember it, do whatever you have to do, but it's absolutely important, okay? So now I want to watch a quick video on perfection. Bear with me as I switch over to my screen here. Give me 1 second as it loads. And just ignore the commercial.
Oh, that's not good. Alexa, lower.
Okay, here we go.
It's really simple. You got 2 more quarters and that's it. Now, most of you have been playing this game for 10 years. You got 2 more quarters, and after that, most of you will never play this game again as long as you live. Now, you all have known me for a while, and for a long time now, you've been hearing me talk about being perfect. Well, I want you to understand something. To me, being perfect is not about that scoreboard out there. It's not about winning. It's about you and your relationship to yourself and your family and your friends. Being perfect is about being able to look your friends in the eye and know that you didn't let them down because you told them the truth. And that truth is that you did everything that you could. There wasn't one more thing that you could have done. Can you live in that moment as best you can with clear eyes and love in your heart? With joy in your heart. If you can do that, gentlemen, then you're perfect. I want you to take a moment and I want you to look each other in the eyes. I want you to put each other in your hearts forever, because forever is about to happen here in just a few minutes. I want you to close your eyes and I want you to think about Boobie Miles, who is your brother. And he would die to be out there on that field with you tonight. And I want you to put that in your hearts. Boys, my heart is full. My heart's full. Ivory.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, and we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and glory, forever. Amen.
Okay. So I want you to think about your team like that football team. I want you to think that perfection is giving your best to them, doing the best that you can, working as hard as you can to help and support them. knowing at the end of the day that you did what you could do to help them succeed. That is what perfection is, and that's what we need to strive for. Many times we get caught up with the idea that before I can talk to someone, I need to know everything. I need to know what I need to do. I need to know the compensation plan. I need to know the oils and how they work. If that's the case, you will never succeed. If you wait to learn everything, if you wait to know everything, you wait to be the expert, you will never reach that point. There's always more to learn. There's always mistakes that are going to be made. There's always things that will happen that are going to cause you to not be perfect. Don't get caught up on being perfect. Keep your perspective, stay focused, and do the best that you can do. And know that your team is there to help you. So if you fall short in an area, use someone else's strengths to help you. Find a way to work together and give your perfect effort, but don't strive to be perfect. So we're just going to wrap up with a couple quotes that I absolutely love about perfection, and take some time to think about these. Share these with your team. Write these down, whatever it may be, but really think about them. So the first one is, you were born to be real, not to be perfect. So be honest, be real with people, be real with yourself. Don't be someone that you're not. Don't think that you know everything. Just be real. Don't strive to be perfect, be real. Okay? Small changes eventually add up to huge results. Focus a little bit each day and make changes. If you feel like you don't know enough, learn a bit more each day. Learn a bit more about the compensation plan. Learn a bit more about marketing. Learn a bit more about the product. These small changes will make huge results. Imperfection is perfection to a beautiful perspective. Again, perspective and perfection go hand in hand. Focus on the perspective and realize that your imperfections are part of that. It's part of life. It's part of who we are. Okay? Strive for progress, not perfection. So again, your goal should not be to be perfect at something. It should be to be moving forward. Take action. Keep going. Okay? Perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence. I love this quote because a lot of times when we tell people not to be perfect, they just kind of stop. They stop working, they stop thinking, they stop striving to be better. Perfection is not something that should make us, or not striving for perfection is not something that should make us lazy. Just because we don't have to be perfect doesn't mean that perfection or striving to be better will not help us to become better and excellent. Okay? Making mistakes is better than faking perfections. Guys, be real with your team. Be real with people. If you don't know what you're doing or you don't know where you're at, just tell people. Don't fake that you know everything. Just do your best and be real. Perfection is when one realizes his imperfections. Focus on what you know. If you have an imperfection, take those small changes or those small steps and see huge results as you go, okay? And then finally, perfection will not build a business, but good enough does. Don't worry about being perfect in your Young Living business. Focus on being good enough. Good enough to teach that class. Good enough to know the compensation plan. Good enough to be a leader for your team. As you focus on these things and you remember your perception and strive to not be perfect in everything you do, you're going to see huge success. I hope you guys have a great week. I'm excited for tomorrow's video. Check it out. Let me know if you have questions, and we will be in touch. Have a good one.